stories. He is quite a guy. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty. He's quite the guy. If you're feeling lonely, come and make a friend. If you need a story, on Sty you can depend. His voice is soothing like a lullaby. Sometimes he brings a tear to my eye. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty. He's quite the guy.
Hey, hello everybody. Happy Sunday afternoon to you. Yeah, for some of you, Sunday evening. Hey, I'm going to shout out real quick at Metal Music Maniac, first one in the chat tonight, this afternoon. Yeah. And then there's Gemma. Hi, sweetheart. Good to see you, Gemma. Awesome. That's the only two people that have put anything in the chat. It's quiet in the chat. Hey, there's the real Robert Rockwell, not the fake guys, the real Robert Rockwell. Yeah, good to see you, Robert. Yeah, I got someone in the basement. I'm gonna pull him up right away. Boom, there he is.
Hello, y'all.
Hello, y'all. Y'all. Jem is asking how am I? Well, I'll tell you what, Gemma, I'm doing really good. I'm doing better. Yeah, I do a little better. It seems like I do a little better every day, just a little, not much, but enough to notice the difference. And yeah, I would say I'm doing pretty doggone good right now. I was telling Running Water before the show that one thing that's looking up is I'm able to eat certain soft foods right now. I can eat soups, cream soups and like oatmeal or malto meal for breakfast, and it's got to be something creamy, And I took one container, every night I feed myself, tube feed, and lost Running Water. He might pop back up. But I have 6 containers of that tube feeding formula. I got it pumping me every night, right? Well, now I'm down to 5. Took one off because I've got, there he's back. And I'm down to 5 because, like yesterday, I had 510 calories that I was able to consume orally. And each container is 375 calories. So every time I hit 375, Running Water, touch something again. But every time I hit 375 plus, cumulatively, I get to drop a container off. But what they want me to do is stay on 5 containers of that tube feeding food for the rest of this week. And then starting next Saturday, I get to start eating more soft solids And as those calories start building up, I get to drop containers of that tube feeding food off. And it looks like I'll be looking at about 3 weeks from now, if all goes well, about 3 weeks from now, they'll be able to remove that tube, and I won't be tube fed at all anymore. I'll be just eating food again. But I'll tell you what, I had my first bowl of cream of wheat yesterday, and I had maple brown sugar cream of wheat. Never had it before, right? Oh, my Lord, was that good. To eat something, to actually take a spoonful of something, put it in my mouth, and enjoy the flavors and swallow. Oh, it was to die for. Running Water saying that his audio keeps kicking out. So, yeah, he's going to be out there in the chat. He's watching. He's going to be watching us. I see Matt's in the house. Hey, Matt J, good to see ya. Great to see ya. Same with Kimberly Ferris. Awesome. How's it going there, sweetie? Hope life's treating you well. But so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm feeling pretty excited about the fact that I can eat now. I had this awesome maple brown sugar cream of wheat for breakfast, enjoyed every single spoonful. Then I had myself a bunch of juice after the fact, and then came lunchtime. So I had myself a bowl of tomato soup. Oh my gosh, did that taste good? Oh, that bowl of soup went down so well. Enjoyed all of it. Oh, every bit of it. Then about mid-afternoon, I'm allowed vanilla ice cream. So I had a small bowl of vanilla ice cream in the middle of the day. That was pretty doggone good too. Sure tasted good. Then, for dinner, I just had a light dinner. I just had some yogurt for dinner. And I was satisfied. And then I went on my feeding thing, the tube feeding thing, and that fed me all night. So I got up this morning, and I liked that multi meal so well last night. I had another bowl this morning, and loved it. And I had cream of mushroom soup for lunch. That was good too. That was good. So it's going along. It's going along. Sty's starting to get to eat things. That's a big improvement for me. Oh, hey, there's Dean, the dancing machine. Great to see you, Dean. Matt saying, sitting outside on my porch, glad you're eating once again, Sty. Yeah, I wouldn't call it truly eating, but it is. At least it's going in my pie hole here, and not going through a tube. And the fact that I'm looking at about 3 to 4 weeks, and that tube should be ready to be removed. Once that tube's removed, this old boy is going to start feeling normal again. The ice cream is yum-yums. Yeah, no kidding. And yeah, Dean, you're so right. Gotta crawl before you walk. Yeah, I know. It's a shame because I did that when I was just a itty bitty kid. I crawled and learned how to walk. And you gotta learn how to walk before you can run. But that's what Sty's doing. Dean's right. I gotta crawl before I walk. Then I gotta walk quite a bit before I can run. But old Sty's coming back. I mean, I'm coming around. I ain't gaining weight like I wished I would, but the doctor told me, he says, you're going to have to learn to live with being right around 150 pounds. He says, if you hit 160, 165, he says, I'll be amazed. He says, your body is totally changed now. He says, so get used to your body size now, and your body mass can change. Some of my body weight can be converted back to muscle, and some of it is. I can tell I'm getting some strength back. Not a lot yet, but I'm getting some of my strength back. Hey, thank you, Matt. Thank you. I can feel it too, man. I can feel everybody's support out there. It is so awesome. It is so awesome. I'm going to do something that, and hopefully everything will go well. But over in the chat, you can pay attention here. Oh, it's not doing it. Why? Oh, I don't know. Dang it. I have to fix that. I'll fix that. I'm working on this, guys. Thank God I've got all these. I got all these different. I got multiple computers running, and I can kind of cheat on certain things. Try that. Okay. Boom, boom. No, it ain't letting me. You bugger. Let's see if it'll let me do it another way. I am so. It's been a while since I've had to do anything like this. You'll see what I'm getting at here in a second. The Now I think I can do what I wanted to do. Sure did. There you go. If somebody wants to come and hang out with me up here on the panel, there's the link out there in the chat. There's the link. Just remember, Sty wants everybody to behave themselves when they come up on panel, you know. Be yourself. Just don't be out of control, right? Shout out to the members coming. Not yet, not yet. We're going to let that go for a while yet. Usually mid show. Look at there. I had a gut feeling she would take advantage of that. There she is. Hi, sweetie.
Hey, Uncle. How you doing?
I'm doing so much better. I've been
much better. For you.
Thank you, sweetheart.
I pray about you every day when I get up.
Oh, that's so kind of you.
I think it's important because it helps you feel good, and when you get better, it proves that it works. And I think it's just a peaceful thing to do. So,
yeah, you know, it's odd because you can feel it, you know, when a person.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You can tell people are out there sending up a word for you, you know.
Absolutely, because we need Uncle Sty around for a long time. I certainly do.
Hey, Rain Dancer, good to see you, sweetheart.
Hey, Rain Dancer, Colin, Matt, good to see you.
Yeah, lot of our great crew showing up today. Yeah, it's Labor Day over here in the U.S. You know, it's a holiday
Yes, a
weekend,
holiday for you, yeah.
and not for me because I'm not laboring any day anymore.
No, you're always busy. I've never known you not to be doing something or other. You're always active doing something.
Hey, J-Ron, great to see you, buddy.
Hi.
Thanks there, J-Ron. I don't feel that I'm rocking it. I mean, I tell you what, this whole ordeal
We think you
was
are. You're smashing it. You're doing a
was
lot better than what I think you're doing.
that's what people keep telling me, and I keep telling myself, take their word for it. You know, because I could myself. Oh, our rain dancer. She said, "Look at that. Hi, everyone. Jugs to all."
Yeah, we know what you
And-
meant, Rain Dancer. I've done that multiple times in streams.
Jugs, not jugs.
Yeah, I've done that multiple times. I've put things like
Yeah.
that. I'm like, oh, no, I didn't mean that.
No, that's not quite what I meant to say.
Yeah, it's all good. We appreciate it either way.
Yes, yes. The yeah, I'm still trying to get back into the swing of things online, getting in my studio more than just on Sundays. And um,
Yeah, but what you need to remember is, Uncle, you need to pace yourself, because the more you push yourself and then you get yourself ill and then
yeah,
end up
true.
going,
I don't want any setbacks, you know.
no, not now. You're
As,
doing really,
as
really
long
well.
as it's like I tell my doctors that as long as I stay the same or improve a little, I'm happy. It's just I don't want a setback. I don't want to go downhill at all. Oh, Rain Dancer, you're getting iron infusions.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
That's
a
harsh.
bummer. I hated
That's
those.
harsh.
I hated having to go in for those iron infusions. The see
Look
that's
how far you've come. You've come a long way. You've battled the worst of what the worst is, and you're still here.
yeah, I keep telling myself that there ain't much more they can cut into me to do, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, brain surgery is about the only thing left, and they ain't gonna find nothing up there.
Apart from a load of information, yeah.
Yeah, don't waste your time doing brain surgery. Yeah,
You're one of the most strongest men that I know on here, and you've been through so much already since I've known you on this platform, and I think a lot of people don't realise how strong you actually are. Like, you inspire a lot of us when we've been through our bad situations, especially with myself. I can speak from my own self perspective on this, is the fact that when I've gone through really what I thought were bad situations, and you've come to me and gone, Gemma, what about this? What about this? And I'm like, oh, well,
yeah.
why did I get so upset? And it seems so trivial now, because you've gone through something so tougher than what I have.
You know, I don't want people to think that I don't know, if somebody gets something positive out of what I went through other than me, I'm good with it. I'm very happy with that. It makes it worth the misery, because this cancer surgery was. There's nothing in my life that I've ever suffered that's so severe. It was just terrible. Hey, look at Matt's going to join us. Awesome. Hey, Matt, it's good to see you, bud.
Hey, Matt, good to see you.
I was really rolling the dice on whether I was going to get folks to pop up here or not if I threw that link out there. I thought, yeah, well, I'm taking the risk today, man. You betcha.
You felt it was going to come up.
It was a good risk.
Yeah. Oh, especially
good
for
day.
me.
I wasn't going to leave my uncle on his own. Hell no. No way. No. That's not happening.
Thank you for having me, Sty.
Oh, you betcha, Matt.
And
Oh,
Jet,
It's always
Gemma,
good to see you,
much
Matt.
love.
Much love, Matt.
yeah, Matt, you're great.
I always had to come and see my Uncle Sty. Like, that's just a given. Like, Sty is a special man to me, and that's the way it's going to stay, and no one's going to take me away from him. So,
Yeah, you're special to me too, girl. I catch your videos as they're going up. I don't comment much, because I'm watching them on TV, so it's a bummer to try to comment. Oh, look at here. Hey, Cullen. Welcome to the Sty Shack.
My Irish brother.
What up, Sty? Good to see you. Thank you for having me, Matt.
You betcha.
The young lady up there. Yeah. Nice
Hi.
to meet you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, doing good. Good to see Sty. Yeah. Thanks for bringing me up for a little bit, Sty. And
You betcha.
Yeah.
You betcha. I love my Patriots, man.
Yeah.
I love your room there. It's great.
Yeah. Right. It's yeah.
Yeah, Rain Dancer. We're all
lot of
special
people
in our
don't.
own ways, absolutely.
What's that?
Rain Dancer says we're all special in our own little ways. Yeah, we are. We all have our
Absolutely.
differences, our neurodiversities. We all have something that makes us a little bit more quirky than the others. So
Right.
And you know what Sty always says? Everybody says, "Oh, Sty, you're such a great storyteller." Blah blah blah. Each and every one of you got a story. Don't give me any BS that you don't. Everybody alive has a story in their life, and not just one. Their whole life is a story, and that's all I do is I share what my life was about, and that's what stories should be, as far as I'm concerned. Fiction is for fantasy and fun.
Yeah.
But just getting up there and telling the story about life, man, that's what people want to hear. That's what they like. They want to connect with somebody. And so I tell people, be real and just tell your story, man. Just tell your story. That's like Colin here. This guy, it's not like he's multi-generational patriot. I mean, he's a self-made man. I mean, I get such a kick out of Colin because he's got stories to tell too. I mean, all of you do. Gemma's journey has just been insane. That's why your channel, Gemma's Journey Grace. You can't.
Mine's just about kind of helping people to be less afraid of the stigma of autism. I want people to be able to come to my channel and go, "Oh, I don't have to be scared of you. I don't have to be scared of the word autism. It's not a bad thing. It's nothing to be ashamed of. And the sooner people get their heads around it, the better."
My daughter has, I don't know, I think it's 3 special needs children. She's got 11 kids. But I put her on to you, Gemma, and she watched a few of your lives. And she said, and she's always worked with special needs people. That was her career. And she said, "I really like that, Gemma." I said, "Yeah, ain't she something else?" She goes, "Well, what I like about her is her channel proves to you that autistic individuals are people too, that they're normal, that they're just people." She said, "I love it." And I said, "Good for you. I was hoping you would feel that way."
I'm just an Elvis tribute fanatic. I'm Elvis crazy. Like my big
you are
here behind me is so packed full of outfits and shoes, and I can't even get it shut. I've got another bag on top of it right now to keep the lid on it.
I think old Elvis would have loved meeting you.
Yeah, I literally dress up in so many different shoes. I've got boots, I've got scarves, I've got waistcoats, belts, you name it. I've got it in my box behind me.
The yeah, rain dancer. 11 kids. Let me.
Wow, that's a lot.
Here's a little. It's
Yeah.
a story. It's a current time story. My granddaughter. What is she? She's not. I think she's 2 years old.
I can honestly say none of those children are mine, by the way.
I know all their fathers. Yeah, you're lucked out. You're lucked out. You're lucky you don't have one of them. But my little granddaughter's got a rare genetic disorder called white Suttons disease. Right now, today, they've only identified 90 cases worldwide.
Wow.
Worldwide. That's insane. And the
Wow.
problems she has, she can't walk. She can crawl up and grab things and follow them, but she can't walk on her own.
Prayer sent out to her.
And she has mental capacity issues. She has vision issues. She has heart issues. She's got digestive issues. And yeah, any prayers for that little girl, little 2-year-old, active little thing. She's just trying to be active. You look at her and that's what you would picture if you came across a pixie out in the woods somewhere. She's just got that innocent, smiley, good with the world look on her face, and the world is against her. I mean, it's so against her. She's going in, I think it's in about a week or so, and she's getting a feeding tube put in her because she cannot consume her food orally. And a 2-year-old that has to be on a feeding tube, and they figure that it will probably be a lifetime situation for her. My daughter managed to get involved with this organization that is researching and studying that white Suttons disease. And thank God they're helping to finance all of the treatments and everything this little girl's got to go through. I mean, they're racking up tens of thousands of dollars every month on her the last few months. She's a great little girl.
Sty,
Sty,
did you try St. Jude's?
They are involved. St. Jude's and the Mayo and this organization she's attached to. It's a pretty good sized organization of all these geneticists and that are studying all of these unusual genetic disorders. But you know, the more I found out about that little one and what she's going through, and then I think about what I'm going through, and I'm saying, well, geez, I make choices. I can get up. I'll start feeding at this time of the night, and I know it'll end at this time in the morning, and I'll take care of my own equipment. I'll do this and that. And when I'm disconnected from that machine, I'll go do whatever the hell I want. Blah, blah. That little girl doesn't have those options.
I can't wait till you get back to camping again.
Oh, me either. Oh, man, Matt. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, buddy. In fact, yesterday I was out nosing around in my adventure trailer doing some measuring for the cupboards and stuff, because that's my spring project, is to get that thing all camp ready where I can tow that thing anywhere I want. And in 15 minutes be set up for an overnighter or 4 weeks. I want it all self-contained. I got my microwave, fridge, all that stuff's in there.
You still got the small one, right?
Yeah, the little black and orange adventure trailer, and
The adventure trailer, yeah.
and the renovations I'm going to do in it this coming spring are going to be insane. It's going to be an awesome little trailer. The one thing I got to do is that it's going to be a little tricky is installing the air conditioner in it. It's just a small little air conditioner, but I got to get that framed in really good so it can handle being beat down the road highway.
Oh, okay.
So,
I got you.
Sty, you're ready. You're ready for a road trip. Yeah. You
Oh
will
man,
be.
here's the bad news. I had such plans for next year.
Mhm.
Huge plans, man. I was going to do Alaska, and then on the way back, run down the West Coast, Washington, and Oregon. I got people in both that I need to see. And then I was going to swing on over to West Yellowstone. A buddy of mine living there. He's a mountain climber. He wants me to come spend some time with him. Would go and do some camping, and I want to go to my old beaten grounds, my old stomping grounds up in northwestern Montana. And then I would head south. And I got folks to see down in Texas and all the southern area, and then work my way back up towards home, get home for a couple of weeks, and then head east and go down through Ohio, Indiana, Virginia. I'll be down that way. That's where I want. But the way it looks, a lot of folks haven't heard it, but I have to go back on chemotherapy on the 26th of this month. And for the first 2 months, every 2 weeks, I got to go in for an infusion for that chemo. And then from that point forward, it's once a month for 1 full year. So my big, long road trips have come off the drawing board.
Right.
But my trailer is going to be ready to go because I'll be able to do
Absolutely.
like 1 and 2 week road trips, and that'll be all in the lower 48. I won't be able to do it. Oh, look at there, Dojo, buddy, Dojo.
Sty, if you're gonna hit up like Virginia, I mean, you just gotta like go 1 state down and hit me up in North Carolina.
There you are.
Yep.
That's the way to say
You
that as well.
betcha. Yeah, see, that's it. When I can move freely, which the day will come, when I can move around the country freely, I'm going to, on my channel, just promote it for a good month that I want to be on the road. If you want me to stop and see you, let me know where you are, where your location is, and I'll work on building my travel map, and we'll make plans. We'll make plans. I want to see as many of you folks in person that I possibly can.
And I'll even give you a channel sticker.
Yeah, I'll come down for one of them.
No, I gotta get T-shirts made up, but I do have channel stickers though.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so it was a little disheartening to find out I won't be able to take my long trips I wanted to take this year.
Yeah.
But to fill in a little bit, I went to they had a National Forest Service volunteer appreciation picnic. And they invited me to come down there. I didn't volunteer this year. I couldn't do nothing this year. And
Hey,
Kathy. And
hey, Kathy, what's up?
they insisted that I show up down there. Right? So I went down to the old camping grounds area that I was hosting last year, and to that picnic, and I got to meet somebody most of those volunteers had never met either, and that was the top dog for the whole Chequamegon Forest. I mean, well, actually, he's one of the top dogs for the whole Region 9, which is all the way from Minnesota to Florida, the whole eastern seaboard, everything. It's got the largest number of national forests of the continent, of the U.S., and the largest number of people short of Yosemite and Yellowstone. And we won awards last year. In fact, mine sits here on the desk, so I rub it in my nose. We got these awesome awards for our volunteerism.
That's cool.
Oh, wow.
Stewardship, partnership, all this everything. Sty Wills. Yeah, that's awesome. It's brilliant.
And they told me, they said, you have to be there. I said, well, I didn't volunteer. I'm not feeling comfortable about that. And they said, no. They said, it's from the year before. They said, you've made such a lasting impact on our campers that I guess all season the campers have been asking the Forest Service, where's Sty? Our host is gone. What the hell's going on? Where's Sty? And they didn't know if they should really share anything about my health or anything with these people. And I told them, feel free. I'd tell them whatever you want. They can come on YouTube and catch me talking about it. And so they made a big ado out of it. Well, when I told them that I have to go through chemo next year, and it screwed up a bunch of my plans. Hey, Dr. Smith,
What's
Dr.
up?
Smith, much love.
Their regional director told me, he says, the National Forest Service wants you back so bad. He says, what can we do to at least have your presence in our forest next year? I said, oh, Jesus. He said, the campers want to meet you. They want to see you again. He says, we got these people coming back year after year after year, and they're expected, they want to see you. And I said, I don't know why the hell they want to see me. And he said, we'll give you a truck. We'll deck you all out with a ton of bling to give away to them, Yeah. And he said, and you just make that contact. And I said, I suppose I could do that. I said, but it's not really doing anything. He said, how about you be a relief host? Because we have campground hosts that need to be away from their campground for a week or more at a time. Mm-hmm. Can you pull your trailer to their campground, put it on their site, and host their campground while they're absent? He says, we'll make sure you only do like one a month, be a week or 2 weeks long. I said, I'm in. I'll do it. I said, as long as you don't want me cleaning out fire pits and dragging picnic tables all around and shit. If all I got to do is clean the shitters and mow the grass and do the reservations, I'm good. And the BS with people. And they're thrilled. They said, yeah, we want you back. So that's going to be something that'll fill in some of the holes for me next summer, is I'll be back in the campgrounds again. That's going to be some good channel content because it'll be different campgrounds. They won't be the same campground all the time. So that's cool. I said, yeah, I can handle that, being away for a week or two at a time. I told them about the chemo, that my chemo will be scheduled. It'll be the same day, same week of every month for a year. I said, so, and I'll be done with the twice a month before season starts in the spring. So he said, you're good. We're going to leave it totally up to you. And he said, we'll provide all the, he said, I said, well, I'll be all equipped. My trailer will be all decked out. My Jenny's all good to go. And I said, yeah, everything's good. He goes, oh, no, no, no. You just leave your generator at home. We got a brand new Predator generator sitting in our shop, still in the crate. You're not going to provide your own. You'll get our Jenny, and you just keep it with you for the whole season. I said, you got to be kidding me. And they said, no, and we'll provide all the gas. You swing in to the shop, and you get all the gas for whenever you're hosting. He says, you're going to be covered. Nothing out of pocket. I said, oh, okay, I guess. So, Dr. Smith and Kathy.
Can be done.
I'm sorry, but I'm just like running the chat pretty much. But
I will.
still,
Hi, Kathy. Gahan.
Good to see you, Kathy.
Kathy Bates, cheers, lovely lady.
Yeah.
Hey, Miss Kathy. I did say hey to you earlier, but in case you didn't hear me.
And
So what are you all? What are you
Well, you know
all
what,
up
Sty?
to?
What?
What are you all up to?
I'm only up to about 5'7",
Yeah.
5'8".
Yeah, just hang on. Today it's a long weekend,
And
Monday off.
happy Labor Day to everybody in the U.S.
No, I'm just glad they have a long weekend.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Everything.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Thanks, post office. Everything's closed down tomorrow. Now we're lucky up here in northern Wisconsin. Yesterday it only got up to 62 degrees. Today it got up to 68. It got up to got up to 64 today. Now tomorrow it's supposed to be in the upper 70s, but it's been clear weather. No rain. So people are enjoying the hell out of this weekend, this long weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, they're barbecuing to beat the band.
Oh man! Oh yeah, to beat the band. Yeah, absolutely. But Monday and Tuesday here in Northern Virginia was brutal. Sty, guys, it was like.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like.
Whoa!
It was in the late 80s, but which is not like crazy, but it was the humidity.
Humidity.
I mean,
see, I was hearing that.
Yeah, as I work, my shirt
pretty warm here.
Yeah, it was like you just pulled it out of a washing machine.
Oh boy!
Yeah, no, it was rough, but no, I will.
That's what.
Kathy.
Kathy.
And you know what? Stan?
Yeah.
Come September the 7th, just coming right up now. It'll be my 22nd year since I first arrived in Virginia with a luggage case with $300 in my pocket, and that was it. Yeah, it's going to be 22 years on the 7th.
Wow.
Yeah,
well,
time flies. Yeah.
You came to the land of opportunity, pal.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen, Sty. As I told you before, or mentioned to you before, it was on the chat. You know, when I first hit the United States, it was a retired Marine brought me across. Him and his wife brought me to Schuylkill County in Pennsylvania, and they were so good to me. They took me all around, out of Wilkesboro, Schuylkill County, right down into, Washington, D.C., New York. They took me everywhere and taught me great history, and the crazy thing about it was like God picked me out of Ireland and put me in with his family because the lady's great-grandfather was a guy named Jack Kehoe, who was the leader of the Molly Maguires in PA, old coal mining country, and
Yep.
it and I got to meet her cousin, who was Joe Wayne, and he still had the old tavern where the coal miners, used to come down. And he's still, and even to this day, he's in his 70s now. Even to this day, he still keeps that tavern running. It's in Yardsville, in PA, and I just was put right on where I should have been. It was amazing.
That's it. Right. You just needed somebody to point you towards home, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Great people. God rest their souls. Now both of them have passed on. They lived well into their 80s. When they took me in 1986, Ronald Reagan was still president of the United States. And they brought me over, and they were probably in their early 50s. So they lived well in their 80s. Good people, and I'm forever grateful to them.
That's one thing.
I just made the choice to come back again.
Now I don't want to stereotype at all, but I was born and raised in Minnesota, and my father, he was a demolitions man, and he drove demolitions truck for the Civilian Conservation Corps in the late 30s, and then he went into the Navy during World War II, got injured, got a medical discharge, but he worked up in northern Minnesota blasting rock to put the roads in, way up there in the Boundary Waters Canoe area of northern Minnesota. It's very, very rugged up there. But what that region of Minnesota is known for is the iron and all the iron mines that were up there. And so he was constantly telling us kids, growing up, about the iron miners, and he'd take us up there, and there's in Tower, Minnesota, there's a deep iron mine there that you can actually tour today. And that was one thing that really shocked me, is what he used to tell us as kids. I go there, this is about 10, 12 years ago. Gonna go tour the mine, and I'm looking at this big informational history, this big plaque on the wall telling the whole history of that mine and everything. I was absolutely amazed. All of the miners in that mine, all of them, were either Finnish or Irish.
Right. Wow.
Those were the only two types of individuals they hired to work in that mine, were the Finns and the Irish. And I couldn't believe it, said it right on the plaque. And it was because of their stature. They tended to be the right height to work in those drifts in the mines down underground. They didn't have to bend over to work in the mines. They were short enough people. And they weren't afraid of the dark, is what they said. They weren't afraid of the dark. And I thought that was pretty damn awesome. And then I found out there was a huge Irish influence in the coal mining industry. And the Scots too. The Scots were involved with a lot of coal mining. And yeah, isn't history awesome? I mean, I love it. Yeah, me too. I just, where did we come from? How we get here? Yeah.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, and it has to be, even though some of it wasn't good, but it has to be protected. It's
That's
like,
it.
What was the word somebody said? We don't know history, we don't learn history, then we can't learn from it. I'm paraphrasing right. But that's that's a gospel.
My granddad used to always tell me that we couldn't enjoy the good times if we hadn't been through the bad times.
Yeah, and Sty, I shared out your stream.
Oh, thank you, bud. Thank you. That's great. Yeah, anybody? Yeah, share it out. What the heck? Sty Shack's open. Sty Shack's open. Yeah, that's the thing is you know, and that's the only thing that's getting me through what I've been going through is thinking back to what others have said in the past and current, that, you know, take the worst and make the best of it. And
Exactly. There's always a good in even the worst point in time.
that's,
Mhm.
yeah, the I keep there's still many a time quiet sitting here at home. I ain't got nothing going on. I'm not even watching the tube. And I start thinking to myself, was it worth it? Man, oh man, was it worth it?
It's
The
always
pain and suffering, was it worth it? And then just like that, I go, well, you were happy all damn day. It must have been worth it. You had that happy day you wouldn't have had, you
Right.
know, because technically, if I hadn't gone through what I went through, I would have I would have had my funeral by now.
Mhm.
They only
you,
gave me a couple of months.
you're
Um,
not ready for a funeral yet.
I
Sty.
guess not. I guess
Hell
not.
no, there's a lot more fight we've got to do for Sty
I
yet.
agree, Jim.
We're not giving up. No, no, we're
Nope,
the
not giving up.
hell
the
no.
No. Surrender
I
is not
one
an option.
one thing I did
Agreed, Colin.
one thing I did come to realize though is that I it's just in my nature not to give up, but this last event, something like this again, oh my God, I'll give up the ghost before I go through that shit ever again. Um, I'd rather go quick and peacefully than ever put myself through that kind of shit again. It was worth it. It was worth it this time round.
But not again.
Not again.
Yeah.
Not
I,
again.
I,
But that's where you learn from your
I
hard
went
time.
through it 2 times.
The
I mean, one time is enough.
yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
ready
I
to
pay-
lose our Uncle Star yet. No chance. No.
And I've been
No.
telling myself that over the damn years. I broke my back in the 80s. I was laid up for 6 months, all screwed up. Then it was it'd be 2016, so that's 4. What the hell is that? 2016.
Like
I put it at 20. So that 8 years ago?
it's something like
No,
that.
6 years ago. 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Is when I had the major heart attack. I had a few 4 years before that, but then had the major, and then they did the open heart surgery, fixed that ticker, And I thought, oh, there you go, man. You just ain't beating that shit. There ain't no way. And I got through that. I looked back at some of my old videos when I was recovering and saying Sty's back. He ain't all here, but he's back. And hey Joe, good to see you.
Joe W, what up?
Yeah.
What up,
But-
Joe?
My other little homie.
But then right after damn heart surgery, I go back to work full time, cushy job managing a Dollar Tree, and
Joe's because it's my sensory light. It's a
A little
purple
green.
It's a purple. It's a
Yeah.
purple sensory light in my bedroom.
Joe, she's gone leprechaun right now.
nah. But yeah, I mean, right after a heart attack, then I'm going to retire. It's all carved in stone. I'm retiring. I got my date, and I'm looking forward to that date. And boom, my gallbladder goes to shit. So I got to go through gallbladder surgery. And I said, they're just adding, they didn't make me miserable enough, cut my chest open. They got to pull my gallbladder out too. After that, I thought life couldn't be better. Hosting last summer started out great, and then I started getting sick all through the summer, losing weight, blah, blah, and then get diagnosed with this damn cancer. And they're telling me, yeah, we're going to have to cut you all up to get that shit out of you. But if you do what we are asking you to do, we can give you another 5 to 20 years of life. I said, well, that's a 5 or 20 I'll take, you know, not realizing that what it would cost. I mean, I paid my dues going through that bullshit. I better get another 5 to 20. Yeah, I'd prefer 20, but the one thing I learned is that because of my nature and saying, yeah, I'll take a few more years, I'll take a few more, I'll do whatever I got to do to take a few more. I put myself
20.
I keep putting myself in this situation where there was a couple of times where I could have just let it go and it would have been easier. It would have been so much easier. When I had my diabetic coma in March, they thought they lost me that time. And I managed to pull through that. That was a freaking miracle in itself. And the pain that was involved in that was insane. And I could have let myself just go. I was ready, man. Just go. Just end it. Just stop. But I got through it. Then I thought, well, okay. They figured it out. I can, survive this. And then they said, but what caused it is you got stage 3 cancer. Oh, Jesus H. Christ. I just thought I was dying. Now you're telling me I am, for sure. And they said, well, no, we can fix it. It'll fuck you up, but we'll fix it. And they were right. I do have to say, though, that they need to be more honest with people.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish they would have been more honest with me. They said, oh, don't worry. You got one of the top surgeons in the world that's willing to do your surgery. And I said, okay. And they said, the prognosis is so good. You're going to come out of this. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Not once did they say, you're going to wish you were dead by the time you're done with this, because it's going to be miserable. It's going to be terrible. Not once did they ever hint to the fact of how bad it was going to be. When I asked them, compared to the open heart surgery, recovery on that, how's it going to be? They said, oh, it'll be so much like that. A little more pain, but we'll make sure to medicate you so that you don't have to worry about it. That was bullshit. That surgery was 3 times worse than that open heart. I'd take 3 more open heart surgeries before I'd ever go through this again. When I came out of my open heart surgery, of course, I was on a respirator and tube up your nose and hooked up to a dozen IVs. Within 24 hours, all that stuff was gone. It was all gone except one IV, keeping fluids in me. That was it. And then it was just a matter of recovering from the wound, of them going into my chest. This surgery, for 7 days, I had an aspiration tube going down my nose, 3 tubes, one going to each lung, one going down into my abdomen, constantly sucking fluid. 2 chest tubes, one chest tube coming out of the right side, one that's coming out of my abdomen, feeding tube, 5 IVs. And I was on all that shit for 7 days. They didn't remove any of it until the day before I was discharged. So when I woke up, I was basically still hooked up the way I was in the operating room. So I felt like I was in the operating room for a week. Like I was wide awake in the operating room. And none of that was disclosed before the fact. So I could prepare myself, at least psychologically, for I got to cope with this. I got to look, I got to be prepared, be ready to cope with it. Oh no, you just all of a sudden wake up and then they tell you you're going to be this way for a week, and it's like my ass, my ass. Why don't you give me about 10 times the dose of that morphine and let's get this over with and just call it quits, you know. But they've got me. They're working with me they want me to speak to a group of cancer patients that are going to be going through something similar to what I did. And I said, you don't want me talking to them because if I can't be honest, I don't want to talk to them.
Right.
And they said, well, we want you to be honest. We want you to give them an idea of what to expect, that it will be that hard. And they said, but you got such a positive attitude now that you've gotten through this much of it, that you can show them that it was worth going through. Because right now they haven't a clue what they're facing, what they're going to be going into. And look at there. Yeah. Oh, look, it's me Dibble.
Hey,
Hey,
Dibble.
hey, bud. Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah.
I
Cheers.
missed that one.
I can speak on cancer as someone who's been an
Yeah,
advocate for
what up,
someone.
girl?
My Aunt June is diagnosed. My Aunt June lost her battle with cancer. She's been gone 6 years this month, next week. And when I used to go to the hospital to see her, I would advocate to the nurses about medications. I'd sit there and make sure everything was explained to her. I mean, she got told she was terminal stage 4. It was like she was so positive about it. Everything was like, well, I've got to do this before I die. I've got to do this. I've got to do this. I've got to do this.
Yeah.
We literally planned everything. So every little thing she ought to do. It's like go to a concert, tick, do that. Go for a meal, go for a picnic in the park. Yep, done that. Took her out to the library. Just did little things that she ought to do so she could finally put herself at peace. And having
Right.
that advocate is so important because it doesn't just affect the person who is living with the cancer. It affects the family and the friends who are around them. And when you're attached to them and you're really close, it breaks
That's-
you. With
you
me,
know-
it broke me.
You know,
Yeah.
Gemma, what you just touched on is what I told these folks that want me to speak to these cancer patients. I told them what I'd really like to do is talk to their families, you know, the people that are closest to them, and let them know they are one of the most important parts to that person's battle and recovery.
Oh, yes.
That just their presence, they don't even have to do much, just be there for that
Yeah.
person, because you know I live alone. I live in Running Water's house, but he's out on the road. He ain't home here.
Yeah, same here.
And so I was coming home to nobody.
Right.
My daughter and 2 of my grandchildren, man, they've taken care of me. They're the ones that got me down there for the surgery. They're the ones that got me home. They've taken me back for my follow-up and back home. And they've been here, and they live 4 hours away. But they've been here. And my daughter calls me. A long spell of not hearing from her is 2 days. Otherwise, I hear from her. And she's got, like I said, she's got 11 children. And they're, ma, 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 ma. Even her 25-year-old, ma, ma, ma. So out of her busy life, she just makes sure that I know that her presence is there. And that if I need her, I can call her, contact her. My youngest boy, he don't want anything medical. He's out of the picture. Gone. You don't want nothing to do with it. He shows up 2-3 times a week. What do you need, Pop? Anything I can do for you, And so
Bradley, cheers.
Hey, Bradley.
Hey, Bradley. Good to see you, Bradley. We're coming along pretty good.
I think also it's important that when you have family who know what you're going through, and it's important for them to have support as well. So for them to access
Right.
either an advocacy service or a professional within that field, because you don't know how much it's going to actually affect you. When my auntie had cancer, it crushed me, and I think it was how bad I got upset seeing her struggle from being functional like I was to all of a sudden the last 3 weeks of her life she was like a child. She couldn't eat, she couldn't drink, she was wheelchair bound, she was literally incapable, and seeing her like that was like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, it's very traumatic for the family.
To this child, it was heartbreaking.
It is. It's very and that's it. People tell me, all my dear YouTube friends are constantly, oh, geez, Sty, you keep talking like, yeah, well, if it's the end of the road, it's the end of the road. You got to be good with it because you can't stop it. We all have to, someday we'll see the end of the road,
Right.
And they go, geez, you sound like you got a death wish. And I said, no, I don't.
Really?
I'd like to live to be 500 years old like Moses, but I don't think that's gonna. I don't think that's gonna happen. The fact of the matter is I am ready to go. I don't want to go, but I'm ready to go. I'm packed, ready to go. But I don't want to go, and the biggest reason I don't want to go is because of all my friends and acquaintances and my family, because it affects them more than it affects me.
I'm still waiting for your book.
I got to get back to work.
Signatured up too.
I want to too. I want one too.
I know you've been working on it.
Right, it's life. It's different curveballs.
Take care, me Dibble. I hope you're okay.
Hey, me Dibble.
Yeah, me Dibble. We sure don't want to be upsetting anybody,
Exactly, Dr. Smith. Love is all that matters.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
Love is what helps people in their lowest point. It's not just about
bottles and whiskey.
How you say things, it's about how you show love and how you do things to back it up.
Yeah.
Bottles and whiskey, beers and bongs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and that's, another good reason not to go anywhere is because you don't know what the heck's around the next corner. It could be something pretty amazing. It might be the most amazing moment in your whole life. You just don't know. And so stick around as long as you're able. And when it is your time, be ready to accept it, And
my time is on God's time.
That's right. I don't know what date he's picked, so I'm going to go through life like the date hasn't been picked. And that's it is, I think the good Lord said, I'm going to see what kind of decision that old boy makes. I'm going to give that some bitch more than he. I'm gonna have him bite something bite off more than he can chew,
Listen to the old talk, Uncle, not old.
Why does that sound like my life right now?
You just Uncle. There's a difference between being old and saying that you're old. It just means that you've had more maturity than most of us, and you've had a lot more of a journey than what we have. That's all. You're not old. That's different.
Moses was old.
We stick together.
You betcha.
Absolutely.
You betcha.
Oh yeah.
It's like what's that country singer song?
Hey Lisa.
Hey Lisa, what's up?
Lisa, what's up, girl?
the yeah, and that's it. Is my acquaintances and friendships that I've developed on YouTube far exceed a lot of my friendships and acquaintances I've uh, acquired through life. I mean,
Yeah, right.
you folks. I mean, people. I think real people kind of attract each other, and
Yeah.
and people that really do understand what life's about and what's important in life, they flock together, and that's empowering. That's very empowering to have people that
Well,
understand.
And we stick like a feather.
Mhm.
yeah. Birds like a feather
Feller,
together.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That, yeah,
Birds
yeah.
like a
You don't, yeah. You don't want to screw up the flock part.
I know we
Birds of a
we know
feather flock
Birds,
each
yeah,
other.
birds
but
of
yeah.
a
They
feather
flock
stick
each
like
other.
a feather, something like that.
Yeah, they're flocking each other. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, that strange bunch of flockers we hang out with, right?
Yeah, right.
I'm proud to be strange, neurodiverse. I'm proud to be unique. I own who I am, and that's that. No one's
The
gonna change me.
Rain Dancers says, everyone down to earth.
yeah,
Well,
everyone on the earth.
Somewhere.
more Colin Orson.
We're all made to be
We're
different.
somewhere.
We all have different
That is
reasons for
awesome,
doing
Royals.
things.
Yeah, yeah. She says everyone down to earth makes me think of the old line. Someone someone asked me. They said because they knew my ex-wife didn't like camping on bare ground, and I usually would set up instead of a regular tent, I'd set up a tarp shelter, and he'd sleep right on the ground. And they'd say, well, and we were just basically newlyweds within the first year. This one gal asked, why would you do that with your wife? I said, what, make her lay on the ground? She goes, yeah. And I said, well, actually, all of us guys like a little peace on earth, Yeah, I get a little peace on earth. She found out, yeah. A few pine needles on the buttocks. Yeah, that makes it exciting.
I can't. Talking of camping, I can't wait. I'm going camping on Friday. I can't wait.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm not doing quite well on the reading part, but
No,
I'm
Lisa's
maybe-
bang on with what she said. But no, that's
Yeah,
exciting.
Kathy, you're right.
I
Yeah,
want to go.
it's the ones that stick you in the back and they're smiling at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Kathy
I'm
just
actually.
Oh.
in a butthole. That's all.
Thanks, Dr. Smith. Thanks.
Doc,
Yeah, Dr. Smith. He's cool.
I haven't been camping in years. Years. But I would love to go camping again. But what I do love to do is it's about an hour drive for me. I always love to head up the Pennsylvania, up to Gettysburg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I normally would go up there, Sty, guys. And, I would just, even by myself, I used to do it with my ex, years ago. I would just go up there, I would book in somewhere. This is not camping, but I'd love to do it camping wise, in the fields.
Uh-huh.
But I just book in and I've been doing it since that family I told you about back in the 1980s took me there for the first time, and I've been doing it ever since. And I keep going back. Yeah, and just travel the battlefields and look at the monuments and take photographs, with my phone. And
That's one thing I'm going to try to do this summer is there's a resort in northern Minnesota, right? It's called the Gateway of Boundary Waters Canoe Area, where no motorized boats are allowed or anything. And this resort was started as a resort in 1906, and it's still there. There's 25 cabins there now, and they were all the old man Van Bactren, the original owner. He built the first log cabin on that site as a school for the Native American children in the area, and his wife taught them English and then taught them math and blah blah blah. And then when the school shut down, they started renting that log schoolhouse out as a cabin. And he thought, what the heck, I'll build another one. And he kept the and Native Kutsa got the peace on her. But
Native rocks.
But that resort, my mother and father in 1947 went there for their honeymoon. And our family's been going there nearly every single year since 1947. And we haven't been there now for several years, anybody in the family. So I contacted them before my surgery, in fact, and said, if all goes well and I survive my surgery, can I get a cabin next summer? And the gal that she's the great niece of the original founder of the resort, she now controls the resort and runs it. And she said, Sty, you got a cabin. Which one you want? And I told her, I said, I wouldn't mind Mom and Pop's honeymoon cabin. And she said, you just give me a date and I'll shuffle things, we'll fit you in. And so I think I'll do that this summer also, is spend 1 week up there at the old campground. Hey, we'll see you, Matt. You have a good one there, buddy.
Again, Sty, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You betcha. You are great. You are great. Thanks for being here and being so loyal, my dear friend.
See ya.
Much love.
Gemma, I don't think I got
Bye.
coordination to do it.
Yeah, coordination.
I'm not too good.
Kathy, yeah.
Later.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, with that, don't you guys go anywhere. This only takes 50 seconds. I gotta show this off, you know. I gotta show these people off. It only takes 50 seconds. We'll be right back up here. Yeah, bunch of great folks. Yeah.
I love the music as well. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. I thought it fit good with that, with my channel members. I thought that fit good. Yeah, Gemma had to jump down, but yeah, that's Matt. Love us and leave us. See how you are. Yeah.
Matty, I met Matty probably about a year ago. He's a good lad. Yeah. And then just you know, through himself, met yourself, a while back, and it's good to see. You know, although it's a difficult road, but it's good to see you getting back somewhat on the mend again. Yeah.
Boy, I appreciate
Yeah.
that. I appreciate that, Colin.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I I love it here on YouTube. I just love it. I can't wait till as things improve. I'll be on here more often. I'll get things rolling again. Probably get a couple of shows that are regular running. Um, yeah, it right now it's my days. It's just like I gotta think of what the heck I'm going to do next every minute of the dang day. I
Takes
yeah,
time, right? Takes time.
it
Yeah.
does. It does to get back in the swing. It's just like, what the heck, where's some days I just like, where did the time go for the day? It just, last night was weird because my tube feeding diets changed up. I actually got to knock 2.5 hours that I don't have to be on that damn machine. The rain dancers eating popsicles. Num. Sounds good. But so last night, not knowing when my supply in my machine was going to run out, because it runs out about every 2.5 to 4.5 hours, depending on how much food I put in it, right? So I ended up just staying up all damn night, sitting there playing PlayStation all night long. And a couple times I'm checking out YouTube going, is there anybody live out there? Well, it's the middle of the damn night on a Saturday night. There wasn't much going on. And so I played PlayStation all night.
Did you, before, I know before you went in for your surgery, you said you were going to, catch up on a lot of movies. Did you happen to catch out that Sam Elliott one? I think it was 1883 or something.
Oh, yeah. That series?
Yeah. I binge watched Sty. I binge watched it in like 2 days. I killed it.
Oh, did you?
Oh, man.
I see. I've got it saved in my watch list, and I got about halfway through the first episode, and I had a couple other series that I was binge watching.
Yeah.
That's that I'll probably start that here this week, and then I'll binge watch the whole doggone thing. Yeah.
I just love Sam Elliott. He's just he's a natural.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah,
he's just cool.
Yeah, just pure natural. You can put him anywhere, and no, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. As I said, I went through it in 2 days. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Every episode, brilliant. I would say anybody watch it. It's very historical, and it's also very to the point of things that would have happened back in the day. Heading into the people going into the West. Yeah. It's amazing.
That's the last one I binge watched was Deadwood. Now you've watched Deadwood, haven't you?
Oh, I haven't seen that. I've heard about it.
Oh, you need to watch that series. You like the Old West. Yeah, Deadwood.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's a little raw. It's a little raw. Yeah. Right. If you ain't got kids in the room, it's a good one to watch. But
yeah. I think that's what makes it special when like you said, when it's raw. It's just like straight.
When I started watching Deadwood, I'm going, oh my God. They finally made a series of just how rough and tough things were, man, in an old gold mining settlement. And it's quite the series. How it's kind of how that mining town started and how it progressed to the point where it became recognized as part of the state at the time, and the the whole progression of the thing is just, it's nuts, and just pure old west style,
I will definitely pull that
Yeah.
up. I got Netflix and Amazon Prime, so
Oh yeah, I think you find Deadwood on one of them. Rain Dancer. Yeah, the Midway was good. Yeah, yep. Yeah, I like all of the old war. I like them all. I like them all. Pearl Harbor, that was a good one. Yeah. The oh yeah. BBC's series on Auschwitz is pretty good. Yeah, I've seen it. Yep. The
I know a couple of guys that actually done a trip through Europe, went up into Poland and around those areas, and they actually went through the concentration camp. And they said when you these are just normal guys I grew up with, went to school with, one of them in particular, he said to me, he says, just going in there, he says something makes the hair stand on the back of your neck.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I've never been, but I get the same feeling, Sty, when I go to Gettysburg.
Yes.
That's why I keep going back.
Yes. See, some of the old Civil War battlegrounds, you go there and you have this odd, uneasy feeling.
Yeah.
That you can feel how much death took place there. And it's amazing. It's amazing how that feels. I got a cousin that went to the Auschwitz memorial, and he said they called it the room of shoes, and it's just all the shoes.
Yeah.
And he said that freaked him out. He said, because you think of all the people that wore those shoes that were taken,
Absolutely.
Sty,
if you ever get on that road trip and you make it kind of to the East Coast and you hit Washington D.C., you got to visit the Holocaust. Museum.
Yep. Been there. I've done the Smithsonian. I've done the Native American Hall of History. I used to have to go to D.C. In my career. I was going out to D.C. about once every 3 months, and I'd be out there for a week or so. And I was lobbying. I was up there on the Hill constantly lobbying congressmen and senators, and I always had a lot of spare time, so I hit everything up there in the mall and the veterans, the Vietnam Veteran Memorial. I've been to probably 5 times. In fact, I wish I had that on this computer. I'd pull it up and show a picture. In Rochester, Minnesota, the state of Minnesota helped fund war memorial for all those that served in the state of Minnesota, from the state of Minnesota, all the way from the Civil War to current wars. And it's a beautiful, huge memorial, lots of statues, and it's all this beautiful granite, everything carved in the granite, all the history in it. And it starts at the Civil War, and you walk around this big, round granite wall, and the history just progresses all the way up until the current period. And now it's so awesome what they did. It's beautiful. You too, Matt. You too, buddy. I tell you what, all my friends, I throw a word up for everybody, whether they need it or not. And the word I throw up for those that don't need it is, I pray that they won't need it. You know,
Right.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah, but there's some amazing things and some beautiful places to be and see.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's
Mhm.
that's and that's the thing is there's not enough time in a lifetime to see it all. I mean,
Right,
and
exactly.
I look at it as, thank God for the media that we have, that we can't
Right.
be there, but we can see it. Just like here in the U.S., I've driven every state of the country, driven through all the provinces of Canada, and I miss so much. There's so much out there. There's the Schwamigan Forest that I host in. That's 1 million acres, and
Wow.
I figure I may have. I probably covered 10,000 acres of it on foot, maybe more, but I'll never see it all. And and there's I found waterfalls, beautiful waterfalls, big outcrops of granite rock, climbed the tops of them. Never knew they were there. And then I mention it to locals and they go, "What the hell are you talking about? There ain't nothing like that." Yeah, there is. I'll take you in there and show you. And that they see it and they're going, "What the hell? It's right out our back door and it's right there." Yeah.
That's just amazing. Like, Sty, when I was a young boy, I never thought I would ever come to the United States.
Yeah.
And I did. I did one time, then, on a permanent basis. I did the second time. But with being in the United States, I never thought I would ever have a chance to travel to like South American countries like Brazil.
Yeah.
And spend time down there. And no, I just soak it all up like a sponge.
Yeah. Feels like a sponge.
Life
Yeah.
is so crazy, and there's so curve.
Yeah.
There's so many curveballs, this, that, and the other, and the people you meet along the way, like it's Sty, you should write a book. You got to write a book. Even just for your family, you got to write.
I got all my Sty stories on the channel. There's 200 and some.
Yeah.
And before the surgery, I was working on those, downloading all of them, going through, and I'm cutting out everything except the Sty story itself, which averages between 10 and 15 minutes long. And I'm putting that into volumes, 4 Sty stories per chapter and blah, blah, blah. And my son, Running Water, he will work with me we want to compile it all and make it into an audio book. The only problem is it's coming out to be about 12 volumes. 200 Sty stories is a lot of Sty stories. And then we're going to take, once we got the audio book finished, then we'll take the audio book and go voice to text with it, get it all into text, and then go through and edit the text, proofread it, edit the text, and then Running Water will probably publish it, They'll call it something stupid like the life and times of Sty North or some shit like that. I don't know. The but that's the closest I'll come to writing a book. I've been told so many times I should write a book, and I worked on it for about 3 years. I started doing that after our adventure to Montana when I moved my family out west, and I had it all on media saved, and then through a misfortunate situation, all of it was lost. So I just gave up. It just sitting there and typing a book, going on and on and on. It just not my forte. I'd rather be outdoors than write about it. So I told my son, "You got all the Sty stories that are right there on YouTube. Take them all, make a book out of it. I don't give a shit. You can make all the money you want off of it. I don't care. I'll give you all the rights to it. There you go. There's your inheritance."
That makes sense. Yeah, there's nothing better than hearing it from the horse's mouth. You know what I mean, so to speak. I said that I write a book, but no, just like you explained there now so beautifully, there's nothing better than just hearing the raw.
Yeah.
Just the raw explanations and just the stories. Oh, I can listen to it all night long.
I've had early on, I had someone challenge me and said, I've listened to your Sty stories and there's no way that you did all that. There's no way. Absolutely no way. They said you would have had to have, you'd have to be 180 years old to have done all those things. So what I did was I sat down, we went through and did everything chronological. And I put that up and I sent it to that individual first. And then I did a video about, where's it all come from? And I tell people that I've lived 6 lifetimes. And it's not something I don't think anybody else, I don't tell people they should do what I did, because one lifetime is enough. But I know I've lived at least 6 lifetimes. I've dabbled in every possible career you could imagine. I guess the way I see it is I look into something I've never done before and do it. And just to the point where I was getting good at it, then I go find something new to do. So I'm good at so many things, but I'm not a professional in anything, I just, that's a typical jack of all trades is they're good at so many things, but they're not a professional on any one thing because they don't wait long enough to become a professional in something. And I lived with an open door. I always told people I had an open door. If I saw something go by that I never did, that's an opportunity that if I don't run out that door and grab it, it's going to be gone. And I'll never get to experience that. And my ex-wife drove her bloody mad. I was making almost $50,000 a year. And I saw an opportunity for a job that paid $23,000 a year, but I had never done it before. So I quit my job and went and grabbed it. And she said, "You are bloody nuts." I said, "Well, yeah, but I've never done this before and I want to try this out. I got to try this. Got to try it out." And that's just so I was born, as the old saying, I was born under a wandering star,
Oh, yeah. The old song. Yeah.
This is the most grounded the last few years that I've been in my whole life. I mean, I just, from a teenager on, I was just boom, boom, boom. Got it. Things I have to experience everything, you know, and get a little taste of the whole world if I can, you know. And but
no,
it
I've
makes
been a wandering star.
you have.
Yeah, I left my home when I was young and never went back. Never went back. Not even for like Sunday dinner. You know, I never went back. I just boom.
Yeah.
I was the only child, Sty. Although
Wow.
I have 3 half brothers, 1 half sister, but I was the only child of my parents.
Right.
Yeah, man. I just hit the road. You know, got the and just battled and just, you know, like us all, you know, just go through your trials and tribulations, you know, your mistakes and everything else, and you get up and you just keep going, you know, and that's
it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been down so many dead end roads where all of a sudden I go, oh, this ain't going anywhere. Time to turn around, go back and start some other road, you know, go down a different trail. And you know, I've seen people throughout my life that they had the same job right till retirement. They put in 30 years and they did the exact same thing every day of every week of every month of every year of their life, their entire life.
Right.
And to them, it was exciting to go out for dinner on a Friday night, you know, and that I just couldn't do that. I couldn't be the same thing my entire life. I wanted to be, and it was my experiences that made me what I am, you know.
Oh yeah.
The good, the bad, the indifferent. It was all important in developing me into what I became, you know. I've had people say, well, if there's anything you could change in the past, what would you change? I said, I'd be too afraid to change something. And they said, why? And I said, I don't know what I'd end up being.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you.
I like myself the way I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can live with myself the way I am. And the good and the bad memories made that. So would I change anything? I wish things could have been different, certain things, but because they weren't different, that's still what made me what I am today. So if they would have been different, what would have happened? You know, I just don't know what I would have turned into, you know.
It's like the compass, you know, true compass, you know, which
right. Right. Yeah, my damn compass a few times has gone wild.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Where are you going now? Hell, I don't know. I don't know. I was born under a wandering star. Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. Is Paint Your Wagon.
Yeah.
I love that one. Yeah,
Lee
Marvin.
Yeah.
And Clint Eastwood when he was young.
Oh, he was young. He was young.
Very young. Yeah.
Wasn't Arnold Schwarzenegger in it too?
No.
Was he not?
No.
I thought Schwarzenegger was in it as well. But no, Lee Marvin. Loved Lee Marvin back in the old days. And
yeah. Some of his older movies were great. It's like The Dirty Dozen, you know. I mean, that's another. oldie that I watched that just a few weeks ago. Probably seen that a dozen times over my lifetime now.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah. I just don't envy this current generation of folks. I mean, they got their hands full.
Imagine.
I tell people, they say, well, aren't you concerned about this and that? And I tell them, I'm concerned about it, but I ain't going to do nothing about it. And they go, well, you should speak up. And I said, why? I ain't going to be here long enough for it to be a huge problem for me. It's you people, you young people. You're telling me I should be involved. No, you need to stay involved. You need to make sure things will go well for you in the future. That ain't my problem anymore. I've done my time. It's your time now. You got to take care of shit, and don't be putting the burden on us old folks to, I'll give you my advice, whether you take it or not. That's your choice. But otherwise, I'm not getting in the middle of things that won't affect me down the road. It's like, oh yeah, by 2035, all electric cars. Well, by 2035, they will probably take my license away from me. So it won't matter anyway. But if the world today allows that to happen, they only have themselves to blame.
Yeah, and a lot of the new generations growing up these days, they don't give a damn.
No,
they don't care. There's no passion there. There's no morals. There's nothing like what our grandparents and our parents even taught us. It's all lost. It's lost.
Yeah, it is. It is. So much of it is.
And it kills me.
Yeah. That's one thing I do appreciate is my daughter with the 11 children. For the most part, most of her children, I'd say the greater number of her children, are they think old school, and they look down the road. They look at their future, but they also look at their responsibilities today. We got to be responsible today. We can't do things before it's necessary. We can't. You can't change things and make things worse. If you think you're making a change for the better, you got to stop and think. Just because you could, wait a minute, you should stop and think about whether you should make that change. And now they just make changes on a daily basis. I mean, to their frames of mind are just like dust in the wind. I mean, you don't know where it's going to go. And one day they think one way, the next day they think another, and they have to find some solid ground. And that's the problem. I think this newest generations just don't have any solid ground. They're not well grounded.
Yeah, they're not well formed at all. Not well rounded. Exactly. And Sty, just like you were talking about, that's why I was raised pretty normal. You know what I mean? Yeah, sure. Everything wasn't, happy dory or, hunky dory, sorry. You know what I mean?
Right.
I spent a lot of time with my grandfather. His name was James Cassidy. God rest him. He died about 13 years ago. He was like 85.
Wow.
And I spent so much time with him, and we used to just sit and have conversations, and he used to tell me all the history about, about him growing up, this, that, and the other. He was a
Right.
big historian. And, he educated me more than I got educated at school.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I believe it. Both of my grandfathers and my father, and my one grandmother, she lived to be 97. And I mean, right up to the year of her passing, her and I would sit and have long conversations of her life, of what she experienced and how she saw, the way she thought of things, how they've changed over a century, and I've got this book. It's what's it called? When the good old days were terrible, and that's what she would always say. She would say to me, she'd say, "Oh, you always want to hear about the good old days," and she said, "And I feel bad because they weren't so good." She says the good old days were hard. They were difficult, and now everything's so easy. And she said, "But I think we got things too easy." She said, because we can always blame somebody else for our problems instead of taking our own responsibility for things. And she was so right. She was so right. And when I told her, when she passed away, her doctor said, she's just giving up. She's chosen to pass away because there's no physical reason for her to pass away that we can identify, but she is passing away. We can tell. And I asked her, I said, "Grandma, what's going on?" Doctor says your health is actually quite good for a 97-year-old. What's going on here? All of a sudden you're pretty much bedridden. And she goes, "Think about it." She said, "I was born in 1901.
Wow.
I thought about that and I go, "Oh my God." She said, "I was a teenager during World War II or World War One."
Wow. It's a crazy.
She said all the wars that she had seen through time, and certain parts of our family were very military minded and involved in almost every one of those wars. And she said, "I've seen too many wars and I know there's more to come." She says, "Man never learns, from the last one. They always start another one." She said, "It'll happen again and I don't want to see any more wars." And she said, "Plus, everybody I knew in my first 50 years is gone. I'm the only one left." She says, "Everybody I know now was born no more than 50 years ago." She said, they're all new people to me compared to those that I spent half my life living with and knowing and growing with, She said, so all my friends and literally her whole family from her generation down was gone. So all she had was from my mother's generation up is what she had left. She didn't have anything from the past anymore. It was gone. And she said, "I'm tired." She said, "You spend 100 years watching man screw up." She said, but she said there were enough good times to make it worth lasting out 97 years. She passed away 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah, she knew her time,
Yeah.
it's like just like you're saying now, you know, just come back to an old story. My grandfather used to say to me, you know, where I grew up in the north of Ireland,
Uh-huh.
there's a big city cemetery, and this might sound like an oxymoron, but it's beautiful to walk through. You know what I mean? It's really beautiful. But my grandfather, he used to say to me, he says, Colin, when I was young, he said, I used to walk through that cemetery, you know, walking a dog, whatever. He says, I knew nobody except maybe a couple, you know. He
Uh-huh.
says, you see now in my later years, walking through that cemetery,
Recognizing all the names.
he knows everybody. He knew everybody. You know
Knew
what I mean?
everybody in there.
Yeah, that's just a fact of life, you know.
That's it. Hey, scrapping together. Great to see you.
Face
That's
scrapping.
that's the sad thing is I look back and I lost my brother and my sister to cancer. Lost them both to cancer. And they were both in their early 60s when they
Oh,
passed.
wow.
And but it's I was always told by my brother, you got to be the first to do everything. You were the first one to give mom a grandkid. You were the you were the first one to strike out and go do something totally off the wall, like moving to Montana. He said, everything you do is always a first and a first. He says, you beat death so many times. He said, you should have been dead by the time you were 35. He said, so you're always trying to outdo everybody else in a sense. And I said, I'm not trying nothing. I'm just living.
Yeah.
But I'm just living.
Yeah.
Well, my sister, she got cancer first, and then my brother. And after they both passed away, I couldn't help but feel a little bit guilty. My oldest sister, my older brother, both passed away of cancer, and then now I get cured of it. And it's like, what the shit? Maybe my brother was right. You know, for some reason, I'm outdoing the family. I'm out living my own family. And my sister, I have one surviving sister yet. Her health is fairly good. It's fairly good. I think she's going to be like my old grandma. She's going to live to be in her 90s. I got
the 90s.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to make that, but I can see her making that. She was the quiet one and very independent and yeah, she's a very successful gal, and she's got a wonderful husband, and they've been together forever. But I couldn't help but feel some guilt that I survived what my other two siblings could not, and they have surviving families, you know, spouses and children for both of them, and I feel bad for them because I don't press myself into their lives because I'm afraid it'll remind them, you know, on the cancer issue of their loss. But yet, here I am now. I don't have a lot of family involved in my life. Those two families, their parents would have been so involved with them even today. Where for me, it's more casual family relationships. And to them, having my brother and sister survive their cancers would have been so important to them. I don't know that it would have been more important, but it would have been so important to them. And the fact that medicine wasn't able to save those two, it's hard to accept sometimes, you know. But we don't deal the cards. We just got to play the hand we get, right?
Yeah, we got to scrap. We just got to fight, and
and do the best we can.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
Each and every day.
Yeah.
Well, buddy, it's that time for me to wrap up the show, and I gotta mosey on. I got a couple of chores I gotta get done before I get my feeding machine hooked up for the night.
Sty, thanks for having me here today.
Oh, hey, it's been all my pleasure, man. I thank you so much for coming up, man. It was awesome having you here. You made my day, pal. You made my day. And all you folks out in the audience, it is so great to see us. Yeah, strapping together. I'm too stubborn to go. Yeah. I'll go out kicking, I guess. You know.
Keep up the good fight. That's what we all got to do. Keep up the good fight.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, fight to the end. Fight to the end. That's
that goes for all of us, everybody. Keep up the good fight.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. All of you out there in YouTube land, Sty loves you. I want you all to say, have a good evening there, Colin. And I'll catch you all next Sunday, hey?
Bye, Sty.
You betcha.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks.
That was a mistake. Here we go. We're dancing with the girl in the fur coat, and we'll see you all next Sunday.